Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And it's an interesting day, let's put it like that. I mean, we have seen some crazy losses today, we have already seen some crazy profit again today. What is going on? Well, I think we partially went over that in the live stream, and even kind of the video afterwards we partially talked about that. But here, I want to talk about all the other stuff which is going about today, and what you need to hear. So sit around, sit tight, and enjoy. First off, John Deedon, of course, he is writing the Ripple XRP motion to intervene, which is due tomorrow. And he basically said, the feeling when you realize you have to file your brief in like 24 to 30 hours. It's really true. Must be some excruciating pressure. At least I would assume so. Then, investing.com has basically retweeted or said, U.S. Treasury to charge several financial institutions for money laundering using crypto by sources. There has been no source. It's just some guy over on Twitter who spotted this out, and it basically launched a whole lot of speculation, and some people say that this wholeheartedly made crypto dump, together with all the other things I have said on Twitter before. Then a little funny video, when you thought you can handle the market dips, but the dip finally takes you out. Yeah, he's basically handling it like a champ, just handling all those freaking rocks, and then boom, puts one to the head, and he goes down. And one of the fun stories of today is I have seen so many people tell me, Dusty, should I buy XRP today? Dusty, should I buy crypto now? And that was once XRP was at $1.90, $1.80, $1.70. Now that it's touched $1.17, all of a sudden nobody's there anymore. They're like, oh, Dusty, should I sell now? Should I sell now? Should I sell now? If you have a mentality of buy high, sell low, you're in the wrong freaking game. I don't know what game you should be playing, but maybe the opposite game. It should be, all right, let me look for an opportunity to buy low and then hopefully sell it high. If you even want to sell, that is. Don't go text me these questions if you're not prepared to buy right now. If your mindset is not set to buy the dip, you're too afraid. Don't ask me if you should buy the higher it goes, because you should read the book. I said it in the last stream, but I'll say it again. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. It also talks a lot, at least in a good part about it, of the lower the price of an asset is, the lower the price of crypto in this case is, the safer it gets. Not the higher, which a lot of people think. A lot of people think the higher the price is, the safer, because, it's already gained a little bit, people are trusting it. No, the higher it goes, the riskier it gets. The lower it goes, the safer it gets. That is, again, dependent on the entire market, because if it's a bear market, that story doesn't completely add up. But then again, it is still safer, though, than buying it high. But you just got to get that in the back of your head. Then, by the way, if you're watching right now, make sure you press the freaking like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're almost at 100K subs, so become part of the family by just quickly pressing that little button. And also, this is the platform I'm trading on right now. Bybit is what it's called for leverage trading. I like it a lot. CoinTelegraph getting a ton of attention for its XRP article right now. SEC loses a battle to win the war. Ripple disassociates from pumping XRP. Now, we have said it a couple of times before, but really, CoinTelegraph is either you could call it Bitcoin maximalists or just doesn't have the best interest in XRP. Really, they don't. They always, whenever it happens, make it seem like XRP and Doge are kind of the same thing. Basically, they're making it look like XRP is also this kind of stupid coin. You can see it here from this list as well. They usually don't make these really positive articles when XP does good, only when things start to look bleak or about the lawsuit in a negative sense. While the defendants may have gained an edge in pre-trial rulings in SEC v. Ripple, are Ripple's legal troubles over now? Okay, that is an interesting article. The application of the statute of limitations to token sales. What is this actually? I didn't read the top part here. I actually didn't even see this top part. I just started here with reading for my own. It actually mostly is just going to talk for the rest of the article about how the lawsuit is continuing. Nothing positive. It just says, well, Ripple might have some good things going for themselves. XP might be doing good. Okay. But the lawsuit is still there. And it kind of made me feel like the crypto Lark guy, Lark Davis. I don't know what his name is exactly. I think it's Lark Davis. Where he made the video saying, hey, I was wrong about the XP price. But then again, it still has a lawsuit going on. And it's the case, yes. But in this case here, they're talking about a lot of old things. They're talking about only the lawsuit in a negative sense for, SEC could still win. Basically their narrative, at least that's the way I found it. And they're all over the place though, because even if they do make a positive article about XP here and there, usually it's negative. And why the wishy-washy? Why left, right? Stay with a freaking, I don't know, like a straight story. Don't change your mind all the time. At least I don't think that's the way you should be going. And again, it's basically a story again explaining why the SEC is kind of right. At least that's the way that I found it. That's what the CoinTelegraph usually does. If you disagree with me, hey, that's completely fine. But I personally feel as if they're really not acting as if it's looking good. All right. The U.S. District Court recent rulings are certainly favorable for Ripple, but the game is far from over. The SEC tends to choose its crypto targets carefully. Moreover, he added, once the SEC decides to move forward with its high-profile enforcement action, it would be embarrassing for them to back down without some sort of victory. I expect them to continue to pursue their claims against Ripple with zeal, which basically means the SEC is not going to give this one up. You know what I think, guys? I think the SEC is going to try, but this will be one of the most interesting cases that they will just not lose because they'll win, or at least they'll make it spin like they won. Why? Well, if you think about it, the SEC losing or winning, what does that mean? It's really difficult to say when exactly one party has lost or when one party has won, because Ripple had a multi-million dollar violation, 1.3 billion. Yeah, I would say Ripple winning is basically Ripple paying a fine and XRP being called a non-security. But the SEC could consider that winning too because, well, they paid a huge fine, right? So when do you consider one to win? You know, I don't really know if there's a pretty big line in the middle there. You can kind of be on both sides of it. It's really hard to say what exactly means to win. It is not really close to being over. No, that's true. And I definitely don't think it's going to be really simple for a settlement to come here. I actually, again, have talked to you guys before about both sides where I get both sides. I'm seeing it from the perspective that I do understand that the SC doesn't want to drop this, and I do understand that the SC wants to drop it as well. Where it's like, if the SC drops it right now, where it's basically a partial settlement, going only after Ripple, not after all the secondary XRP, that would be easier for them. But then again, it's also basically the SC showing weakness, and the judge might use all of that weakness after them or against them, saying, well, if you didn't go after them, why go after this? Blah, 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 blah. Like, the SC, of course, knows very well that whatever they do, they're in a bad position. So I'm not saying they should back down. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying in the end of things, I think we can clear it a win. We can call it a win. Whatever happens to Ripple, we don't care. It's about what happens to XRP in the end of things. Is it going to be a security? Then it's a loss. If it is not a security, it is a win. That's the way I see it. Then, has XRP consolidated its position in South Asian markets? Usually, in these South Asian markets, XRP runs at a huge premium and is really a lot of the volume over there. Now, the DeFi tide in South Asia ascended even further as XRP stepped into its territory. XRP's DeFi integration with OneChain, a blockchain interoperability platform, could turn the tables and prove to be a game changer in the crypto space. I personally didn't think about it this way, but then again, these guys, and even a lot of people over on Twitter, found OneChain something really innovative, a really cool thing. I personally was just like, oh, OneChain, okay, that sounds kind of useless. But then again, it does bring more DeFi to XRP, so I guess, yeah, you might consider it something really cool. XRP holders can now engage with DeFi applications such as OneSwap, OneLand, OneFarm, and many more on OneChain and Ethereum, and certainly more blockchains in the future. To send and receive XRP cross-chain, the platform converts the token on the XP ledger, and for Ethereum, it mints one XRP and ERC20 token. Yeah, we talked about the W Bitcoin as well before, the wrapped Bitcoin, and I think you guys all know what that basically means. If you want to get a native token of the XP ledger onto Ethereum, you make it a token like this. Decentralized finance removes intermediaries, making it possible for transacting parties to interact peer-to-peer. XRP tokens holders can put their XRP to work and engage with the world's many DeFi apps. However, how this really ties into South Korean markets, I don't really know, to be completely honest. In addition to this, Switzerland Bank of International Settlements recently stated that XRP was definitely not a security token, thus strengthening XRP's global support. South Korean markets have also witnessed an upward new use cases trend for XRP recently. Why? Well, it depends on how you see it. Here, at the top, it is also saying, it is interesting to note that XRP has seen a handful of developments in South Asia markets lately. Canadian company Matrix Mortgage Global recently announced that they had started accepting XRP as a payment option for the service they render. How is it really freaking South Asia, though? I mean, South Asia, blah, 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 Canadian company. And here again at the bottom here, South Asian markets, but they're not really commenting about that too much. The ongoing trend suggests that the next phase of the uptrend could be delayed at the present time, even though XP saw its price slump in the past 24 hours. Its overall price rises on the charts are a promising sign, which I do agree with. Then again, this is not really for South Asia too much, even though we know that Ripple is expanding very much over there. The article itself here didn't really tell too much, unless it is actually so that, for example, OneChain is from South Asia. That could be so. I mean, his name is Jack Liu. Could definitely be that that's from over there. I don't really know. I don't really care, to be completely honest. But that is, again, something that might be the case. For the rest, they're not really telling us anything about South Asia. I think, okay, he's from Beijing, I think, and also Austin. Is that Austin, Texas? Or is that Austin? Is there also a place? I think Austin is a place in Texas, right? Not from America, guys, not from America. I just know some names here and there. Or is there also an Austin name in very close to Beijing? I don't know. Wisdom from a crypto billionaire plus a risk-free Bitcoin trade that could pay double-digit returns. Hello and welcome to Insider Investing. That is interesting. I'm Joe Chioli, and I'm here to guide you guys through what's been happening in the markets, and here's what's on the docket. 29-year-old crypto kingpin Sam Bankman-Fried is one of the world's youngest billionaires. He recently discussed a strategy that secured 10% daily returns on million-dollar trades and shed other light on his winning approach. Bitcoin futures are in contango with which presents a potentially high-return, risk-free opportunity for investors willing to do the legwork. We break down how the trade works, and investing legend Joel Greenblatt averaged 50% annual returns over 10 years. He told us his strategy individual investors can use to find creative opportunities in an increasingly crowded and ever-changing market. You know what I want to quickly say here? There's not one strategy which works to become a millionaire, billionaire, anything like that. I wouldn't know because I'm not a billionaire, but then again, there's not one strategy that works. There's a ton of them. And I've personally said before, it's really not about the amount of money that you can make. It's about the percentage that you can make. In the end, if you really want to become a billionaire, unless you're making 50, 100,000, whatever a day, it's going to be really difficult to become a billionaire. And so you're going to have to think of percentages. And that is actually one of the main reasons why I like Bybit, for example, why I do like this trading. You can also trade, of course, on normal markets. This is leveraged. If you know how to get, for example, 2, 3, 5% a day, maybe even just 1% a day. If you get 1% a day, 30% a month, if you don't, again, compound this, just get 1% a day, 365% a year. That is incredible. Just quickly putting it out there. That is incredible. And you'll become a billionaire so ridiculously quickly. It's just about the mindset. It's just about making sure it actually works in terms of your money management. And it's mostly psychology. Because the more money you trade with, the more difficult it becomes. But getting 1 or maybe even 5 or maybe 3%, maybe 10% a day, you're going to be a billionaire so freaking quick. It's just about getting a good strategy that can work for a longer term. It's really difficult. In Patreon, I put for you guys a strategy which usually works in bull markets. I've been using that for months right now. Works like a charm. Almost never loses. I don't think you can really lose with that. But then again, some people might find out something really dumb and actually lose with it. But yeah, guys, I've just been really quite ecstatic about the whole crypto ordeal because I know there's just so much money to be made. And really, there's going to be quite a lot of billionaires. Even some of you guys watching right now might actually become billionaires just by finding some good strategy in this whole crypto market. Just a little fun story, a little fun fact. Then, Binance's CZ hints on BNB repeating 5-month bullish cycle to touch $1,000. CZ basically said also that Binance had a token burn. And to be completely honest, I don't care about that too much. At the start, when the first burn was there, people cared. But right now, they really don't, to be completely honest. I don't really hear anybody talking about it. It might be $600 million worth, but nobody talks about it. Nobody's excited about it. The price didn't pump because of it. So, to be completely honest, I don't think that that's so amazing. But then again, it does put up some fundamentals, right? The supply is going down a little bit. It does make people a little bit more happy. And then Coinbase top management sold nearly all coins right after NASDAQ listing. What does this mean? I've also retweeted this. A lot of you guys are saying, Dusty, you don't know what direct listing is. But in the end, I think what it comes down to is them being like, oh, we don't trust it anymore. Because why? Well, if they sold, let's say about 75% worth, 3/4 of everything, okay, that's different. But the CFO of the company sold 100% of his shares. You can't tell me that that's not a strange thing to happen. I just think that's really odd. Maybe, again, I don't understand direct listings. I know that there's no new shares issued, so they have to sell them because they want to. But then again, if you're selling 100% of your shares, isn't that extremely bearish? And aren't they doing this then, the kind of the direct listing here, specifically because they want to sell their stock because they think it's at the top? Or am I stupid about that now? Just let me know in the comments down below what you think about that. And let's just conclude the video here. I already talked about a lot of things, actually. I didn't know it would be such a long episode. I thought it would only be 7 minutes. But all right, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. Hopefully learned something new. More cool news coming out later today. This is just a little small overview of things that have been going on. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, I guess.